Postmodernism. Postmodernism literally means after the modern era. Post, after. The modern era stretched, as I said earlier, from the Renaissance period to about the end of World Wars I and II, which is from the 18th to the mid or late 20th centuries. Postmodernists believe that this era was far more predictable, meaning the modern era was far more predictable than the postmodern era. The postmodern era has more risks and cannot be predicted. Jobs were for life, and class was a major source of identity in the modern era. If you had a job, you could be sure you will be in that job till you die. Today in the modern era, you don't know how long you'll be in a job. You don't do well, you may be asked to leave, accountability factors come in, and so you have to hold on to a job. You have to really do what you are required to do in the postmodern era to keep a job. So the certainty and the non-predictability has come in to this postmodern era. And this is what differentiates the modern and the postmodern. We are today more at risk than we were in the modern era. Since around the 1970s, we have been living in times characterized by risk and diversity. In the modern era, we speak of diversity, but we don't generally talk about unifying this diversity. Yes, we are different. We will not all be the same. The diversity is a constant. Diversity will be there. Diversity will exist no matter where you go. How do we bring about unity in this diversity? Since we don't talk of unifying the diversity, risk factors are there. I may be a minority in a certain group. I may be a majority in a certain group. I may fit comfortably in one group. I may be a total misfit in another group. What does that do for me? It complicates my life. That is the reality of the postmodern era. Consequently, this has had huge implications on education. This diversity. Students in our classrooms come from diverse backgrounds. They may be from the same nation, they may be from the same province, they may be from the same city, they may be from the same urban area, yet they are different today. They are different because they come from different family backgrounds, they come from different socioeconomic standings, they come from different language backgrounds, they come from different religious backgrounds, they come from different cultural backgrounds. Students in our classrooms are different. It is a diverse population that we are dealing with. And the way our textbooks are written does not help a diverse population. How do you take that textbook that is written for one type of population of students and teach the diversity of students in our classrooms with that textbook? It does complicate the teacher's job and the teacher's life in the classroom, because the teacher is not prepared. Nowhere in our teacher education programs do we do anything about bringing unity in the diversity present in our classrooms. We still know that diversity exists, but we do nothing about it, or hardly anything. The postmodern era is a continuation of the modernist view. It does not mourn. History, self, religion, and center do not exist. History is past, religion is past, self is past, center is past. We only think of ourselves today in the postmodern era. It is selfish, but it is true. The reason why we don't think of these other things and we don't learn from history is because our focus is totally incorrect today. A term applied to all human sciences. Before the postmodern era, the natural and the physical sciences were predominant. The social or human sciences came about as a result of the postmodern era. Studies like anthropology, psychology, architecture, history, and those kinds of studies, international relations today, and those kinds of things are a result of the postmodern era, where human beings learned and understood that to understand other human beings, we must know how human beings think, interact, behave, and so on. Reaction to modernism is systematic skepticism. We don't know whether this postmodern and modernism thing is taking us anywhere. Life is becoming more risky. Life is becoming more challenging. Is it worth it? So skepticism sets in. We are not sure, will I have this job forever? Will I continue with this? Will I finish this? Will I be good at something? Because we are bombarded with myriads of sources of information that we may not be able to do much about. And most importantly, it is anti-foundational. It does not require to have a foundation. You can start. That's why doctors become teachers. As I said earlier, people do their MBBS, become doctors, don't get a medical job, and they come into teaching. They have no foundation for teaching, yet they are good teachers. So all the more reason to say foundations are not needed in the postmodern era.